Hi, this is Nivedha. I work as a junior digital marketer in Spark of Tech Solution. Welcome to ScorePod. In today's webinar, we are going to see about some of the SEO terms used in SEO, which plays a major role in ranking our website, making our website understandable for the search engines, and also tracking our keywords in our campaigns. So let's get into it. These are some of the topics we are going to cover today. Let's see one by one. First one is UTM parameters. First of all, what is UTM? UTM is nothing but urchin tracking module. The name itself suggests that it is a tracking module. It is a simple tag that is attached to the URL. When someone click on the URL parameters, those tags are sent back to your Google Analytics for tracking. So UTM parameter is also called as UTM codes or UTM tags, where your URL is attached to your UTM parameter is attached to your URL, so the analytic tool can analyze track your keywords. So this is a regular link where this is our domain's regular link of a particular page. If we generate a UTM link will be shown like this. So in order to get deep into the UTM parameters, first we have to know 5 different types of parameters in UTM. The first one is source. Source is answers the questions, where is my traffic coming from? It might be a Facebook or search or Twitter or any other social media platform, or it might be Google, Bing, etc. So it identifies the source of your traffic. That is the main point for this UTM source. Next one is UTM medium. UTM medium answers the questions how my traffic is coming from to my website. So you might run an ad in social media, or you can run an ad in the Google or in different blogs, or you might create a campaign in email. So you have to know these traffics are coming from different section, from where this traffic are coming from. So in UTM medium you used to give social or email, or you might give your UTM URL in blogs or guest blogging. So UTM medium is used to specify how is my traffic coming to the website. And next one is UTM campaign. UTM campaign is a name that we give on our own to the campaign that we run. So while the source and the medium is consistent, the source should be FB or Google, where we run our ads, while medium should be the social or email where we get the traffic from, while campaign name is our own. For example, if you run an ad based upon summer sale or 20% off sale, something like that, you have to specify it in the campaign name. So when you check it in the analytics, you will get the data as so much traffic came from this summer sale campaign and from this Facebook or from Google. So you will get a clear understanding which campaign drives more traffic. Next one is campaign term. This campaign term, UTM term. This UTM term is mainly used only in paid search. Paid search is for a particular product you might have 2 to 3 keywords. So for each keyword you will generate different UTM URLs so that you can test which keyword drives more traffic to your website. So this is called a UTM term. And next one is UTM content. UTM content means in an email marketing you might have 2 to 3 call to action button, and each like visitors, contact us, or click here, something like that. So you can know which call to action button is effective, which call to action button give more clicks to your which is more clickable, and which CTA button helped you to drive more traffic to your website. By doing this analysis and by collecting these specific data, help you to increase your traffic to your website, and you can know which source gives you more traffic, and by that you can develop a new strategy, more effective strategy for your future campaigns. This is the main use of Utm parameters. Next, let's know what are the questions this Utm parameters answers. Which campaign brought you the more traffic, or which source brought you the more traffic? If in social media, if Facebook is more effective or Instagram is more effective, or in paid search, if Google, which keyword is giving you more traffic? These are the important questions you can get answer from using this Utm parameters. Okay, next let's discuss about let's discuss about benefits of Utm. What are the benefits? You can easily measure the return on investment. You're making a huge investment on Google ads and social ads, so in social media ads. So if you know which source gives you more traffic, by doing that you can develop a strategy and you can concentrate on that source. If Google ads gives you more traffic, you can concentrate on that, and if social media gives you more traffic, you can concentrate on that, so that you can spend your money wisely on ads. Next one, you can refine your social media strategy. It's just the same. If Facebook is more effective or Instagram is more effective, we can make a comparison and you can spend your money wisely. Next one is used for A to B testing. A to B testing is that if there are 2 to 3 keywords for a particular ad, for particular product, you can check which one is performing better. And next one is spotting key influences. We can check which of the following key factors influencing your traffic. So it is a CTA button, or if it is email marketing, you can get the exact data of it. So these are the main benefits of the Utm parameters. Now let's check how to generate the Utm parameters. Okay, for that you have to go to Google, and in Google you have to type Utm generator, and it will go to a link like that. Here you have to type depending upon it, in first you have to type the your website's URL for which page you want to generate Utm. Next one is campaign ID. You can give your campaign ID as for which one maybe for Defi. This is one of my pages in the domain. And next is campaign source. Campaign source is that I'm gonna run my ad. I'm going to create my email marketing in Zoho. So the source is Zoho and the medium is email. It is email marketing. I gave the campaign name, and campaign term is only used in paid keywords, so I'm not going to enter anything in it. And campaign content, if you want to differentiate the ad, you can add it here. I am not going to add anything because I'm going to run only one campaign. Now when you click generate, it will give you this Utm. You can get this link. This is called Utm link, and you can also shorten the link, or you can just use it, and it will give the massive data regarding your traffic. This is called Utm parameters. Now let's move on to next topic. The next topic is rich snippets. What are rich snippets? Rich snippet is nothing but the Google search result where additional data is provided in the Google search. Okay, there's nothing specification in it. It's like you're giving just extra data like review rating, or if it is a recipe related website, you're gonna give some, if you're gonna post some recipes, you're going to give additional information like how many calories are there in this particular dish, or what is the nutritional value, and what are the ingredients used, and what are the preparation time for it, and all that. This is rich snippets. Okay, here we are going to check the difference between what is a rich snippet and normal snippet. Rich snippet consists of a title tag. A normal snippet consists of a title tag, meta description, and an URL, while the rich snippet gives some extra informations. You can make it look more attractive, and at the same time you can draw more users' attention. Okay, it is mainly to give attracts the more users attraction, like when additional informations are provided in the SERP without clicking your website, it makes your website more trusted, and the credibility of your page will get increased. By doing so, click-through rate will increase for your page. Next one is but you have to remember one thing that the Google does not consider rich snippets as a ranking factor. So it is just to increase the click-through rate, but it has indirect effect on ranking signals, as when you had additional informations in your SERP, what will happen is that people will get more attracted and they'll trust your website and they'll click your website, so that click-through rate will increase and bounce rate will decrease, so that many people visit your website and your traffic automatically get increased, so that the Google or any search engine will know that, which in turn might increase your ranking, but it does not have any direct effect on your ranking. Next one is, okay, this is a rich snippets, but where do I get this rich snippets from? Let me answer this question. Rich snippet is got from a structured data found in your page HTML. Okay, what is structured data? Structured data is also called as a schema markup. It is a schema. You can get that code from the schema.org, which is a structured data, which gives it just a language or a code which tells clearly to the search engine what type of website is mine, and you can give information to the website so that the search engine will understand what type of website is yours. So it is a language between the search engine and your website, so that we are going to use our structured data. Now let's see how to implement this schema.org in your website. So in order to implement, you have if your website is built on WordPress, it is very easy. By plugins you can install the plugins and you can do structured data, while if your CMS, you have to either add it manually into your account or use inline with HTML. So there are different types of structured data like JSON-LD, RDF and microdata. While most of us use JSON-LD because it's very convenient to use and it is very easy, while the RDF and microdata is not recommended by the Google itself because it is a bit complicated. Let's see how to generate rich snippets or structured data in your website. So that you have to go to the here schema markup generator, and you will see the first one is technicalseo.com. If you click on it, it will send you to schema markup generator. Here you can create it on your own. Here you should first select which type of schema markup will be suitable for your website. If it is your article website, you can choose article. If it is the event website, you can use event and all that. So that if I'm just selecting article, for instance, you can just select the article type. It is a blog post or whatever it is, and you have to place your URL here. Then you have to give the headline and image of that URL, and the image for URL for that image, and you will get a code here. You have to copy this code and place it in the Google rich result page. And if you can check if your website has a rich snippet by entering the URL here, or if you generated the code, you can place the code here and you have to test the code. By testing the code, it will tell you that your page is suitable for rich snippets or not. If your page is eligible for a rich snippet, you have to copy the code and place it in the HTML in the head section or body section of the HTML. By this, you can set up schema markup in your website. So you can see after 2 to 3 weeks, you can check, you can see schema markup in your search engine result page. Next, Let's see what are the types of rich snippets. There are different types of rich snippets like a review snippet, recipe snippet, music snippet, product markup snippet, movie snippet, and event snippet. First, what is review snippet? I'll show you an example of a review snippet. If you type, this is one of my keywords of my domain. Here, when I type the keyword, let's see, it is showing the star rating. We have used the review snippet. So we have used this schema because this is suitable for a domain. You can check which domain, which snippet will help you, and you can decide which type of snippet will suitable for your website. For example, if I check for product snippet, if I enter something like Apple gadgets, just Apple, you can see this is the product snippet. This okay, here you can see the information about your about the company, and you can see about what are the headquarters, founders, and what are the products available here. So these are some of the example of the rich snippets. Okay, let's see what are the what help does it do to the SEO. It will decrease the bounce rate. It can increase the click-through rate because you're creating an attraction that your website is more credible and it is more trusted one, and it gives you additional information so that it will increase the click-through rate. And rich snippet can shorten user's journey because many additional information can be seen in the SERP page. So people might not need to go inside for more information if they want the outline alone. These are some of the benefits of rich snippets, and these play a major role in SEO. Now let's look into next topic, Google Analytics. Google Analytics, I know many of them should be familiar with this tool. It is a free tool to track the user behavior of your website. Let's see here. This is Google Analytics of our website. Here you can see there are massive information you can get from this tool. You can check from which country, at what time, and which page they clicked, and how much time they spent in your website, and all that. In real time, you can check how many of them are present in your in just now, how many of them are present in your website, and what type of devices they are using to check your website. And you can also check the locations from where they are seeing. It is from Russia. Someone from Russia is visiting a site now. You can gather those informations. Like in audience, you can check the behavior of the audience, like how much is the bounce rate, how many of them are visiting newly, and how much of them are returning you visitors, so that you how many time they spent in your website. You can gather so much information. You can check by country and cities and which browser they are using, and you can operating system. You can see what many information using analytic tool. Next, you can see the behavior of the visitors, like how many of them are newly visitors and how much of them are returning visitors, and what is their behavior, how many session, how many time they spent, and what is the bounce rate, how many of them just came in and just bounced outside. You can check all those informations. While in acquisition, you can check overview, like in organic search, how many of them came to your website. Through direct research, how many of them came through social media. You can get the massive information, lots and lots of information from Google Analytics, and you can analyze those data, and you can develop a new strategy. If you're getting more traffic from social media, you can concentrate more on social media by posting more informations, and you can gather more visitors to your website. So Google Analytics will give you exact data. With that data, you can develop a new strategy, and you can make your website to rank first by implementing all the ideas given in the Google Analytics properly and intelligently. Okay, these are the important answer questions where the Google Analytics gives answers, like how users arrive to your website, how users interact with your website content, characteristics of your website audience. Characteristics of your website audience in the sense how much time they spent, how they are directed from a particular page, how they went to the another page, that is the behavior flow of the visitors can be known, and from which page they bounced back. If they bounce back from a particular page, you can check if there's any error in this page, or if the loading time is a problem. You can check all those issues there. Next, you can use a converter there, where you can track, you set the conversion, or you can set a proper meter, so that if you can compare the traffic compared to last month and this month, or whatever date if you want, and you can check which month has high traffic and why this month's traffic is reduced. You can compare, and you can develop a new strategy to increase your business sales and increase the lead generation. Okay, these are the 5 incredible benefits done by Google Analytics. Like it is used to access real-time data, insight into your audience, enhanced and management. Next one is improved understanding and interaction and users behavior, better tracking of goals and conversion, find your target audience. These are the benefits given by the Google Analytics. Next, let's move on to our next topic, robot.txt. Robot.txt contains the instructions for the bots to tell which page of the website you should access and which page you should not access. To be simple, robot.txt can restrict some of the certain pages not to be indexed, not to be accessed. For example, all the web pages have some confidential pages or some internal team pages like admin pages, so that you don't want the Google to index those pages or access those pages. So by using this command, you can instruct the bot, any bot, Google or Bing or whatever the bot, can tell that don't crawl certain pages. You can restrict that pages from crawling. This is the main purpose of the robot.txt. It is just the source file of the this file can be included in the source file of a website. So you can check the robot.txt of the any file. It is a public HTML. So if you enter your domain name with /robot.txt, you can check the robot command of your website. Not only for your website, you can check for any type of website. Any type of website. You can check it even for Twitter. If you enter Twitter and /robot.txt, you can check the robot.txt file of the Twitter. So next one is like if you have a thank you page, and if you don't want anyway you don't want the thank you page to be indexed in your indexed by search engine bot, because if someone type your domain name and it will and someone type your domain name, and if thank you page is clicked by them, it will give a very poor user experience. So this user page thank you page should be should be accessed by those who have filled your contact form. So it is no need to be indexed by the Google, so that you are blocking those pages from indexing. So the main purpose of the robot.txt is to restrict some of the personal pages or confidential pages from showing in the SERP. Okay, now let's see different commands or different predefined keyword combinations used in robot.txt. The first one is user agent. User agent denotes the search engine, and the asterisk symbol means the user, all the search engine belongs to, it includes all the search engine. Instead of asterisk, if you type Google bot, then the given instruction, the below given instruction is only for the Google bot and not for others. Okay, if you type Bing, the below instruction will be only for Bing and not for others. So you have to give your command depending upon your needs. And so user agent denotes the search engine. Next one is disallow command. If you want a particular page to be restricted from indexing or accessing, you can use disallow command, while if you want a certain section to be indexed by the Google or accessed by the Google in the blocked page, you can use this allow command. These are the three different predefined combination keywords used in robot.txt file. So if you give slash / in disallow command, means you are blocking the entire website. So you have to be very careful while entering the command in these areas. If you make a small mistake, it will create a great impact to your website, so that your website will be never crawled by the Google, because you're commanding the Google that you don't want to index your website because you have given this /. So you have to be very careful while giving the command in robot.txt file. Now let's see. There is another command called crawl delay. Crawl delay is nothing but you have giving a time in microseconds to tell servers not to crawl the page. You have to wait to check the next command in for so and so seconds. You should give it in microseconds. It can be 100 microseconds or 120 microseconds, and whatever it's according to your needs, so that by giving this you can escape from lagging loading speed, because when more servers come at one time to crawl your website, it might reduce your loading speed of the website, where overtaxing of server can be avoided by this command. And this is called crawl delay command. Now let's see why robot.txt is so important, because there is a term called crawl budget, where where search engine will crawl number of pages with the budgets. Okay, for a particular time it should crawl so many pages. It will have a crawl budget. So if you have many duplicate content, you can add those content in your robot.txt file if you don't want it to be crawled or indexed. So you can prevent the crawling of duplicate content. By doing this, you can use your crawl budget wisely, where only important pages or top pages can be crawled. Next, you can keep your sections of a website private. Some of your website you want it to be private. By using robot.txt, you can keep it privately. Next, preventing the crawling of internal search results page. If you don't want these pages to be crawled, you can include it in the robot.txt. Next, preventing server overload by giving a crawl delay command. You can prevent Google from wasting crawl budget, but please keep in mind, crawl delay will not work for Googlebot, because it does not obey that rule, while other search engine obey crawl delay rule. Next one is prevent images, videos, source file from appearing in the if these images, videos and resource files you need not to be indexed, you can add it in the robot.txt. Okay, let's move on to our next topic, Sitemap Xml. Sitemap Xml is just you're listing your website URL. Okay, you're telling search engine that my website has so many list of web pages. So you're just instructing your search engine that you have to crawl these list of web pages that is available in my website. So in order to do that, you have to create Sitemap Xml. What are the websites that needed Sitemap XML? Okay, let's see that. When you have thousands of pages, if it is an e-commerce website and there are thousands of pages, you can use the Sitemap XML. Or if you are frequently adding new pages, and if you want your Google or any other search engine to crawl the website very soon you can generate, you can submit Sitemap XML. Next, if you are changing your content, if you are updating your content, if your Google want to index it and rank your website, you can use Sitemap XML. Okay, let's see what are the how to optimize Sitemap XML. Next one is XML sitemap is a list of pages you are recommending to crawl. There will be many important pages in your website that you needed to crawl. So most top pages, ranking pages. So by using Sitemap XML, you can prioritize your pages which has to be crawled, and it will be crawled soon. Next one is let's see how to generate the Sitemap XML. Sitemap XML can be generated using sitemap generator. Okay, see, by typing sitemap generator here, create your Google sitemap online, and if you enter your URL, you can create your sitemap by starting start, and in a matter of a few seconds it will generate your generate a code for your sitemap. Just wait a few seconds and you can check the view sitemap details here, and you can download that sitemap and you can use it. After downloading, you have to, this is a set of code of the sitemap which you can copy it. You have to copy it and place it in, just a second, you have to copy this sitemap and you have to place it in the hosting panel of the website. Go to your hosting panel, log in and place this code there, and after that you have to go to Google Search Console, and if you go to Google Search Console, if you go to Google Search Console and if you select sitemap here, and if you give sitemap .xml and submit, your sitemap will be submitted in the Google, and the Google will know that it will be shown that it is success by submitting the sitemap. If you have added new pages to your website, or if you have added new content to the existing page, the Google will crawl soon and it will update it in the server, so that your Google search will get increased, search engine ranking will get increased. Now let's see what are the benefits of having XML sitemap. You can list all the URLs from your website. If you are not using Sitemap XML also, Google will list your website in the SERP, but by using XML sitemap, you can be confident that all your URL of your website has been crawled by the Google search, by the Google server. Next one, by the Google bot. Next one is give search engine page priority and this crawl priority. You can tell which what are the important pages in your website and which should be crawled first. Okay, next one, it gives information back to your Google Webmaster Center. It will tell that whether your page is crawled or not by seeing the search engine when you go to the Webmaster Search Console, you can check whether the Google has crawled your page or not. Okay, this is about sitemap. Now let's see URL structure. URL structure is used to identify the address of a particular document. It is a web address. When you enter it in browser, it will take you to the web pages where you want to see the details. So it is also called as link, and this is the main structure of the URL, where HTTPS is the protocol and www is a subdomain, and this is anything, your domain name. This is your root domain, and this might be the path, and this is top level domain. .com is top level domain, and this is the path of your URL. So you can have a .com, or you can use different types of top level domain depending upon your needs. Next, we'll see what are the importance of URL structure in SEO. It gives the good user experience, it improves the ranking, and it will also plays a major role in placing the by increasing your ranking in the keyword in search result. Like URL should be very simple, and it should be readable for both the Google and human. Google should also understand what is this URL is about, which page, which URL is denoting which page, and even humans should know that if they are seeing a URL, it should convey the message that a particular web page is about this particular keyword. So it is very essential to add keyword in URL. So for that, you cannot stuff too many keywords in URL. It will become unpleasant to see. So 1 to 2 keywords can be added to the URL. Okay. Next one is it is help in ranking. When you enter a keyword, first the Google will check what is the URL, and the URL has the keyword. It should be a primary keyword of your page. And next, it will see the other ranking factors. Placing the keyword in the URL structure is one of the main criteria for ranking in Google. So placing keyword is very crucial, which will increase the click-through rate and it will decrease the bounce rate, because URL which is not optimized will be looking like after the domain name there will be some numbers or question marks and some symbols will be added to the URL. By seeing the URL, you cannot say which page this URL is denoting. So if you use keywords, you can tell this particular keyword is related to a particular page. Okay, by placing this keyword in the URL, you can easily track your result. If you see the Google, if you go to Google Analytics to track your traffic of your website, when you click a particular link, it will tell you that this so and so page has generated so many traffics. If the page has a keyword, you will know that this page is related to this keyword. If you are not using keyword, it will be just number or a question mark, something like that, and you will be confused which page is generating more traffic. So it is very important to use keywords in URL structure. Next one is the URL should be very simple and concise, and these are the 12 SEO best practices of URLs. You have to have good URL structure, and HTTPS protocol is very important because HTTP it has a security issue. If you add extra security, it will be like HTTPS, which will help to increase the credibility of your page, and most people will likely trust your page. So HTTPS is very important. You can also hide www prefix because it is default, so that your URL, if you hide it, your URL will be a bit shorter and be easier to read. Next one is edit the page URL to be relevant to your keyword. It should be short and simple. Meaningful keyword should be used. The most likely you have to use primary keyword of your website, which is used in H1 tag, like that, so that you can use hyphens to separate words. Eliminate stop words. Stop words like these words can be eliminated from the URL structure, and it is very mandatory to use lowercase letters. And if you have an old URL and if you have created new URL, it's very important to redirect it, so that if someone clicks the old URL, the page doesn't exist if it is not in the server. So it is very important to redirect the old URL to the newer ones, and remove the dates from the blog post. If you're updating any content which has no expiry, like so that evergreen blog post, you should remove the dates, because if it is published last year, most likely they'll never read the blog because it is outdated. So dates are not essential in the blog post. And spell out numbers. you have to if you are adding something like 2 3 like that, you have to write it in the letters, and you should avoid using numbers in it. These are the 12 SEO best practices for URL. Next, let's see about 404 error page. 404 error pages. I'm sure that many have come across this 404 error page. Okay, when a page you are trying to open on a website, but it cannot be found on the server, so 404 error page will occur. What is the meaning of it? The meaning is the page is not in the server, or you have mistyped your domain name, or mistyped the URL, or the internet server is slow, or page server is slow. Because of these reasons, you will get this 404 image. 404 page will be given as a response code from the server. So you should know there are different types of 404 error pages that will occur. Something like you'll get the response code like 404 not found, or a requested URL is not found in the server, or HTTP 404 not found, page not found, or 404 error, just like that. You will get these responses when certain pages are not in the server. So you have to make this 404 error page very engaging for the visitors, so that the visitors will not go back from your website to the other websites. Okay, when some visitors click on your broken link or mistyped your URL, they will reach to this 404 error page. And they'll get frustrated, and they'll just click the back button and go to the another website. By doing so, you will lose your traffic, and you will lose the credibility, and so no one will trust your website, and they'll get irritated. So in order to avoid that, we have to create a customized 404 error pages. Customized 404 error pages will consist of certain rules, so that you are engaging your visitors and you are keeping them in your website without leaving them, which will give them a good user experience. Let's see what are the best practices you have to do to make your visitors more engaging in your 404 page. You can give links to your popular pages, most ranked pages. Now you can give your links in that 404 page. You can keep your brand theme in that 404 page. Well, you can give links to your home page or contact us page. By doing so, when they end up in the 404 error page, they will click the home page or contact us page, and they will go back to your website, not to the other website. So it is really very important to keep engaging 404 error pages to keep your visitors in your website. This is the 404 error pages information. Next, let's go to breadcrumbs. Now let's see about breadcrumbs menu. Breadcrumbs menu is nothing but a secondary navigation system that shows user the location of your website. Breadcrumbs menu is mostly used in e-commerce website, and it is not increased in single page website, where it is not necessary because we have only a single page. Breadcrumbs menu will navigate your visitors. It will give good user experience by telling the path hierarchy of your site, by giving the site's hierarchy, showing it in the web page. So it will help users to click the next page or which page they want by using the breadcrumbs menu. It will give the answers to questions like where I am now, where can I go now, should I be here or go to the next page. You can get the answers by seeing the breadcrumbs menu. Next one is it will what are the other advantages is like it will improve the findability of the site pages. Users don't need to click on the menu or find the available navigation system to go to the other pages. Next one is how the breadcrumbs menu should be. It should be in a very minimum space, and there should be a space between each sections, and it should be differentiated using different symbols like arrow, greater than symbol, etc. Like mostly used breadcrumbs menu is mostly used breadcrumbs menu symbol is greater than symbol, where home is the parent category and while the others are the child categories. It will come like that. So symbol, and it should be occupy a very minimal space, and it should be very it should not be very attractive. It should just be it should be as simple as that, because it just helps to navigate the visitors, and it should not spoil the aesthetic value of your web page. So these are the main points of the breadcrumbs menu. Now let's see what are the types of breadcrumbs menu. Breadcrumbs menu are location based type, path based, and attribute based. Let's see about location based. Location based breadcrumbs is the representation of your site structure. If your site has more categories, sections, subsections, and all that, it is necessary to use breadcrumbs menu to navigate the visitors, to help guide the visitors throughout your website. Otherwise it will be chaotic, or they'll just jump into each web pages and they'll get confused and they'll get out. So in order to keep your visitors in your website and to guide them properly, you're gonna use location based website for a larger website. Next one is path based website. In path based website, it shows the entire path traveled by the user to reach a particular page. It is a dynamically generated page. The visitors come to your website and they'll enter one web page and they'll jump to the another. The path is created by the visitor. So it is not widely used breadcrumbs, because it will create a chaotic conditions where it is generated by the visitor. So this path based breadcrumbs is not widely used. Next one is attribute based. Attribute based is mostly used in e-commerce site, where we have lots and lots of products and thousands of pages, and if you want a particular product, you'll just go to that particular product. If you want to go back, you can use this attribute based breadcrumbs and you can go back. Now I'll show you an example of this attribute based breadcrumbs. Yes, for that let's take example of a Walmart or any e-commerce website, and if you go inside it, and if you click any of the product, it will create a path. Jesse, the path is created. I selected electric stove and it shows the path. You are coming from home to heating, cooling and air quality category. From there you are going to the stove product name. From there you are going to this electric stove. It will help you to guide your path. This is attribute based breadcrumbs. And if I show you an example of location based breadcrumbs, here if you click NASA or some other website which uses, even the Google uses breadcrumbs, which is very simple as that. And if I go to Earth or something like that, just a second. Here the path is created for me. I'm in human in space. From there you can select which page you wanted to go. by using this breadcrumbs menu. It should be very simple, and at the same time it should not be a replacement for the primary navigation system. It should be extra features that is added to your website, but it cannot be the replacement of the primary navigation system, which is a mandatory in website. Now let's see about AMP. AMP is nothing but accelerated mobile pages. This accelerated mobile pages, it is an open source code project. It was developed by Google and other competitors of Google, where you can load faster. The loading time of your website can be decreased by using AMP pages. To give better user experience, to decrease the loading speed of your website, this AMP is used. Nowadays most of the searches are done using Google, and mobile and not the desktop. So loading speed plays a very major role in user experience, and at the same time it is a crucial ranking factor. So if your loading speed is high, your user experience will be good, and you can drive more traffic to your website, and the ranking of your website will also get increased. So AMP pages has been used. The next one is, what is the goal of AMP pages? To give user a good user experience. You can decrease the loading speed of the website. Okay, but using the AMP is really very create a big hassle in CMS website, but it is very easy to install in WordPress. What are the difficulties we face in CMS website is you have to use a streamlined version of CSS file in it. You have to use only permitted JS library for it, and only approved extension of images or videos can be used in your page, and which is really very difficult to do. While in WordPress it is really very easy to install the plugin, and you can convert your mobile pages into AMP. Now let's see what are the negative impact of this AMP pages are. It is very hard to implement in other than WordPress websites. It reduces the ad revenue. Only fewer ads can be shown in your website, which in turn increases the user experience. But it will reduce the ad revenue. You cannot get more income from this ad. Next drawback is limited analytics. The AMP page comes from directly from the Google server, so you cannot get accurate analytics of your AMP page, which in turn will you cannot track your website traffic, by which you will leave many valuable leads can be missed. So these are some of the drawback of AMP pages. Okay, let's see what is the need for this AMP page when you have so many drawbacks. Is that it is these are used for the website where you struggle to decrease your page speed, or when most of your searches are done in mobile compared to the desktop, and when you have timely content like news websites like that, you have to 24 hours timely news content. You have to be refreshed every 24 hours to give updated news. Those websites can use AMP pages. Otherwise AMP page is not necessary for all other websites. Okay, next topic is about pagination. Pagination is nothing but you are numbering the pages. You are just segregating each information into different pages to increase the user experience, to make your visitors more understandable about your content, without stuffing more content into a single page, which makes them very difficult and confusing to read. So in order to do that, we are using pagination. Even Google is using pagination, where when you search, after 10 searches you can see 1, 2, 3 And up next, which is pagination. The Google is dividing the content into different many pages, so it will be a very good experience for the users to check out the informations in that web pages. So why should you use pagination? Pagination is mostly used to improve the user experience and for faster and easier navigation. If your website consists of thousands of pages, and if you want and you have used pagination, you can easily navigate the visitors to visit which they can visit which page they want by clicking the pagination tab. So these are the advantages of the pagination. But there are some problems in using pagination because it will usually affects the crawling of the search engine. Search engine will crawl some of your paginated website and will leave the rest, which will lead to so some of your pages cannot be indexed in your search engine. It also results in creation of a thin content. Thin content in the sense when you separate the content into different pages, some pages will have more content, and some pages will have very thin content. Or for example, if you take an e-commerce website, there will be duplicate content issue. For example, in an e-commerce website, if you are searching for a shirt, there will be red shirt of the same brand, same size, and there will be a white shirt for the same brand and same size. Only the color will be different, but all the content will be the same and the URL will be different. Google or search engine bot is just a machine and not a human, so it will think that it is just a duplicate page. There are more duplicate content in this website, and it will flag your website as a duplicate issue. So in order to avoid that, we are mostly not using paginations for those websites which has very less number of pages. But for e-commerce website, there is no other option. They have to use pagination, but with different coding, by giving instruction to the Google that I am using pagination like next or previous or 1 2 3, and there are some codings for pagination. By doing it wisely, you can tell Google that all the pages are different, and this is the major disadvantages of using pagination. Next one is multilingual website. Multilingual website is nothing but a website offers your content in more than one language. So now in statistics shows that English 25% of internet users are using English, where still English is a dominating language. There are other languages that internet users use like Chinese, Korean and Spanish languages, and they prefer their own language to surf on internet. So if you make your website a multilingual site, you can attract global users, global internet users. You can make the whole world to check your website, which in turn increases your business. So it is very important to have a multilingual website if you're targeting different countries, when you're targeting different people, different countries. So multilingual website plays an important role in your business growth. So what are the advantages of using multilingual website is it will make the other language users to come to your website by typing a particular keyword, and if your website shows to them, they will definitely click it and they will read the content in their own language, which will make the customers more trustworthy. They will think their website is more credible, and they will suggest your websites to the different to their friends and all to check the content. And if they are okay with your content and okay with your business, then definitely those visitors will be converted into your leads. And next, it will give the visitors that they care about their languages also, or our language is also important. They can have that knowledge, which gives a positive impact to your website. Next one is when you add a single other language to your website, which will increase your sales up to 100%. And if you include 4 different languages, your sales will increase up to 400%. Likewise, if you add more and more languages, you will get to know many global customers, and many traffic will definitely come to your websites. And these are some of the advantages of using multilingual website. It is really cost effective, it increases the financial productivity, it is available to everyone will learn about the content in your website, they will know about your business, and they will feel trustworthy about your business. Next is you can expand your market, and next one is you can build your brand recognition and trust. Your brand will be known by everyone. Okay, let's see what are the different ways to use multilingual website, like drop down button, or by using tabs in the multilingual website, or using flag to denote the language. While drop down button and tabs are mostly used one, this flag is not to signify your different language is not used, because it occupies the major area in your website, and it is not in trend. So mostly everyone will use this drop down menu and tabs on the you can add tabs in the multilingual website. And other important thing is that you have to place the language icon where it is easily seen. If it is placed somewhere, and if they see the content in English, and if the visitor is not speak English, is not familiar with English language, he will just go out. So you have to place the language icon where it is where the visibility is more, so that they can click and select their own languages. At the same time, what the multilingual website will give more positive impact to your website, but at the same time there is a negative impact also by when you make some mistakes in your website, like misplaced language option. It will lead to increase the bounce rate and bad translation. If their content it is translated badly without any meaning, they'll just go back, and which increases the bounce rate, and even the trust will be decreased. So, and the lack of special characters. Many languages include the special characters, so special characters plays a major role in multilingual website. So special characters should be included in the multilingual website. These are the advantages and disadvantages of the multilingual website. Now let's see about canonical link. Canonical link is it is called as canonical tag also. It is a HTML code which tells the main version of the duplicate or similar pages. So your canonical tag are a way of telling the search engine that the specified URL is the master copy of the page. So in your website you might have many duplicate pages. If you have many duplicate pages, you want this particular page to indexed by the search engine, and it should be ranking in the SERP. So in order to place that particular page in SERP and should be indexed by the search engine, you have to use this canonical tag. Canonical tag will dictate which page will usually be shown in the search result. Okay, so that you have to use this canonical tag. Canonical tag is not necessary, but even if it is not included, search engine will know the best version of the duplicate page, and it will enter it in the it will index that page, and it will rank in the search engine result page. But by when you specify it, you'll have more control over your content, and you can instruct the search engine that this specific page should be in the SERP. So this is the main advantage of the canonical tag. Let's see, you might tell that my website doesn't have any duplicate content, but when you create a CMS website, there will be multiple URL will be generated for a particular web page without your knowledge. Those website those URL will be like without using SSL code, like HTTP alone, or with HTTPS, or with domain subdomain like www dot, or without it, or with the category or without category, and there will be so many duplicate pages. Since search engine is a machine, it does not know all these pages will denote a particular page. So what will happen is, they will search engine will think that each page is a different URL, and it will flag your website as a duplicate, flag your website for a duplicate issue. In order to avoid that, if you tell the Google that this particular page is the main page of these duplicate pages, Google will only use that page to rank in SERP, and visitors, when they click on some other URL, that will be directly, it will be redirected to your URL which you have instructed Google to show. So this is the main advantage and purpose of canonical tag. Google does not like any duplicate content, so it makes it harder to choose them, because Google will not know which is the main page. So this canonical tag will help it. What are some basics of canonical tag implementation is, use the exact URL. The URL should be case sensitive, hence it should be in lower case, and use the correct domain version, whether it is HTTPS or HTTP. And next, use self-referential canonical tag, or use one canonical tag per page. For every page there should be a canonical tag. Next one is how to implement it in the HTML or in WordPress website. For HTML page, you have to place this code in the head section of the duplicate page. For WordPress, you have to place it in the you have to install the plugin, and it will automatically be added. Canonical tag will be automatically added. And these are different ways to specify your canonical URLs. Like, you can use HTML tag, or you can place it HTTP header, and you can use in sitemap, or you can redirect your website using you can redirect your URL by using 301 redirect, or through internal links. Thank you everyone. This is the end of the session. I hope you understood all the SEO terms which are plays a very important role in ranking. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section and I will reply to it. Thank you so much.